So, folks, welcome to yet another episode of the Rumble. Now, you must have heard about this particular, I wouldn't know to call it a phrase or a description of something called the steel frame of India. That used to be called the Indian Civil Service. They say the nation ran because of all this IAS and those days in the ICS and all the civil services. But frankly, to me, the steel frame of India was the Indian Railway. For more than one reason. It was actually built of steel, and it actually, brought the whole nation. You could say all the states and all the people just lived on the strength of that rail that ran through the country. So today I have with me a very interesting person. His name is Noel Thomas, and he was part of the Indian Railways almost, you could say, post-independence right till today. He's seen the railways go through, huge changes. So here's a good opportunity to talk to Mr. Thomas and find out. So welcome, Noel, to the Rumble.
Thank you, Madhav.
So I will just not waste any more time. Just say, what strikes you as a fundamentally different than from what it was when you joined in the railways?
I would say it's the amount of technology, the technological revolution that has taken place.
Okay.
Because in those days, the railways ran on a very primitive system where, the skill of the man, the engine driver,
counted more than,
but now it's easy. In fact, even a lady can drive a diesel or an electric.
Okay, don't let the ladies hear that. They'll say, what do you mean, even a lady?
Yes, yeah. It sounds male chauvinist.
I know.
But there are lady motormen.
There are, yes.
Yeah, but they work only during the day in certain sections.
Oh yeah, the law doesn't allow them to work at night, so they have to probably switch off.
That's right.
Somewhere on the line.
Yes, there are lady mechanical engineers too, who travel on the footplate checking the male drivers. Yes, the performance of the male drivers. Yes.
Okay, one interesting thing is that you come from this community of Anglo Indians, and I know that Anglo Indians were what built the railway, but what actually kept it running for many years during the British time, and even after they left, and for a couple more years, let's say, before it became more democratic and everybody started entering. The whole life of the Anglo-Indian community revolved, from what I understand, great deal on the railway. So, do you have any memories of those days?
Well, I was born in 1940, but my father was a passenger guard. Mm-hmm. So I certainly have a lot of memories. My father working on the railways, but I think it was mainly because the British preferred to give the management of the railways to the Anglo-Indians, the middle management.
Yes.
There was a certain time when Anglo-Indians were restricted to join the armed forces because there was some
feelings
revolt.
That they might
yes. There was a mutiny in some other British colony.
Okay.
Where a mixed race rebelled against the British.
So this is what they call ample caution.
Yeah. So they said give the management, and so the Anglo-Indians ran the railways, they manned the railways, they ran the railways, they maintained the railways. Since the very inception, even when you were laying a track.
Right from that point?
Yes, right from that point.
Okay.
Till...
was it also anything to do with the fact that communication was a lot easier pan-India if you have an English-speaking workforce?
Yes, that's right.
Which would be what the Anglo-Indians...
Yes, it was, yes. Because the British didn't know the local dialects. They couldn't communicate directly. So the Anglo-Indian were kind of, intermediary. Communicating between...
So you had Anglo-Indians from different parts of the country all bound together by English and the English way of life. But they all knew the local language.
Yes, they knew the local language, exactly.
So they could speak Tamil, they could speak
so that's
Punjabi.
How they communicate with the labor force. And they got the best out of the labor force.
So wouldn't that also mean that they couldn't be transferred?
Yes, in those days, they were not transferable from one zone to another.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
There was no interzonal transfer.
Okay.
For example, the southern zone, where people knew, say, Tamil and Telugu and Kannadi's and all that. They wouldn't transfer those people to the north. Create a problem there.
Yeah.
Not only for them, for the railway administration too.
True.
And vice versa, a person from the north would not be. But then after some time, Hindi came to be the lingua franca of the railways. Yes, there was a lot of Hindi in running.
Which year would you say that the change started to happen?
I think in the early 50s. Early 50s.
Okay.
Just after independence.
All right.
There was also this, demand for Hindi,
indigenization,
Indiaization, and
Okay.
even an Angrezi Hatao
Yes,
movement and all that
yes,
sort of
yes,
thing.
yes.
So the railway started using more and more Hindi. And even a person from the south,
Could now,
he knew,
yes.
Ao, Jao, and Rai,
Yeah.
Lal and Hara, and all
Hara,
that, red
yes.
and green.
Okay, those common words.
And, even technical things like lifting. They said, if you lift up, it was abase.
Yeah,
And you
Arya.
come down, Arya was down,
Yes,
exactly.
that was-
You seem to know quite a lot about it.
Yeah, I mean, those are common terms.
Yes, because these are terms I've seen used even in the southern railway workshops.
Even the Merchant Navy does that.
Yes,
Arya and Havis.
yes.
So, folks, as we said, this just a little opening idea about what the Anglo-Indian community actually went through when they started the railways. So, when we come back, we'll find a lot more in detail.